All right. Hello. Um, 3 weeks, maybe even a month without a stream. I am aware. I've mentioned this to one of the regulars, MBJ, in text. I've been unfortunately very busy with an unknown work schedule, and trying to apply to other places while also trying to keep my personal life you know, together, as I would say. I have been playing Jam Josh a good bit. As you can see, I've beaten 3 demons since that. Um, I have been grinding daily a lot. I think I have the first 9 pages in, and then the first 5 from the back. I don't know why I started back to front at first. I can't answer that. Um, and just I've been unfortunately super busy. I want to stream. I really do. I've just had my hands tied with life and I've been trying to keep up with old friends I haven't seen in months, and it's just trying to balance all that. It takes more energy out of my body than I realized. Now, I've been working on the level, and I will show off some of the new stuff because it's been a long time. Let's start from the top. Not that. I don't know. I meant to have edit out. Silly me. I have started making this creation. It's a moon. I still need to detail it more with like dark spots, craters. You get the point. But I decided after I really thought about it. So there was a guy that came into my chat, and while I didn't really enjoy his approach to how he said it, about let me decorate for you. It's like I can decorate, but I realized that guy was kind of right. I was not using it to my full potential. Well, I don't really approve of how they expressed that. I realized I could do better. So let me show you what I've been working on. I have started glow pieces like this here to here, and also while I've been thinking about it, I forgot to put one of these up here, so let me do that. Half step. Too much. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How else do you count? I don't know. Okay, and I'm gonna add some glow to that, but that's kind of wasn't shown, I don't think, on stream. This was not even close because I just did that a few days ago. Many personal other changes I've made. I've added glow spots. I've ignored some of this glow. It's there. I'm having problems with it, and I gotta fix it. But besides that, no real issues there. I've been doing small decoration bits, like adding glow to orbs. I've added these in the wave parts, not just here, but in the larger wave I also started. I've also introduced this, what I honestly think is a very cool concept. I've started messing with area move a lot more. That might have been shown. Lord knows what's not shown. Now, this is all new, which I'm very proud to show. I can thank one of my best friends from elementary school. I've known the man. He invented this, I would say like a lamp design, or just like overhead lights. Now, I added glow to this, and I personally added these what looks like light bulbs. That was my part of the design. Besides that, I've also introduced a double side glow to kind of give it a more rounded edge to make it feel a little less, I guess, harsh and blocky. I've also added constellations. Now, this was stuff I did send to MBJ as I wanted to keep the guy updated, let him know, not dead. Crazy, I know. But very proud of these, and I'm honestly, this was mentioned by at least those two friends. The one I mentioned earlier who invented the lamp design that I improved upon, and a different friend where he was like, "What's with the names?" Now, in all honesty, I can't tell you. I thought it'd be cool, so I'm keeping them because honestly, why not? No harm in it. And a handful of others. This one I'm not pronouncing. and Hercules. And I do like this little design I made. Give him muscles. Also, this is low enough. I can cut some of these and save some objects. Save objects when you can. That stuff's not free. And just kind of trying to keep a very like a very uniform style for certain parts. Now, I went a little more simplistic on here, and while you cannot personally see this because it's bugging out, I assure you that when in the play mode, the pulses are working, where I have the hues and saturation and all that set to higher, and then I have the tan stars, this color, snap to like an orangish red. I need to update these, add some glow to those orbs, but that's a later problem. I added this text, and when you are in play, also there's going to be a star that rotates around you as you, like, drop into the blue pads, I say, and I pulled a little magic trick, but there we go. Anyways, I've added, I'll say that should be extra, hold on. Did I add too many? There we go, I fixed it. I've added these, I wouldn't really call them constellation. I mean, they technically are, but they are without form. They are just kind of guiders. But I added that. Not anything super fancy, but it definitely makes it feel a lot better. I've added some glow to each side of this, obviously. And after some thought and putting my head on my shoulders, I have removed the cave part. I completely gutted it. And I made a small joke to my friend about, I didn't know I was making Spelunky 3. I don't even know if there's a Spelunky 3. I know there's 2 of them, but I don't know beyond that. I've never played them. But I've completely revamped this and kind of just followed a similar pattern from before the spider. Just to kind of keep some uniformity. Now, I will explain the whole moon design and all that I have towards the end. So that's kind of all touched up. Same with this. Now, I've kept this the same. I basically did touch-ups. I added Cancer here. I've been just trying to find random constellations. There we go. And I made like a kind of interesting design here. Now, I don't know if I'm fully on board with it, but time will tell, you feel. I wasn't sure about it, but I'm gonna kind of think it over. And I have like markers to say when to jump, you know, so it's obvious. The real thing I've been doing, honestly, is just adding glow. Adding, like, just more to it. Also, I just realized that Saul is way too high and someone's gonna bump their head into it if they accidentally jump. You know, me personally, I'd be pissed off if I was jumping around and I smash my head on a saw, especially when, you know, I maybe panic clicked because I'm looking, the camera's supposed to snap up here, so you don't see this. You don't see anything below where the editorial line is, give or take. And me personally, I'd be pissed off if I crashed into something because of that. Nah, I digress. It's just been adding stuff, adding glow, adding more decorations, making the sky, making the areas feel less empty. That's my main goal here. Now, I've also added glow to these parts, and both gold glows are attached to the move triggers. I've got the stars attached to, so it moves into it. Excuse me, I had Chipotle earlier, so I should have waited a bit more for recording the video, but I've got a friend I'm meeting with, so I don't want to tarry along too much. Anyway, so since they're on blending, they'll mix nicely in the middle. Light glow added here. Now, this part, actually, my friend said it was his favorite part decoration-wise with the dots before I added the glow. And I think the glow, I was trying not to basically go overboard. That was what my main mission was, and I just realized I didn't duplicate this glow. So let me... down one? There we go. So it kind of moves into a smoothness on both ends. Yeah. And I'm gonna keep working on it. This whole ball part, all of it. When I changed scents on the buildings, I made them made of gold. Now, they look a little silly, admittedly, but it feels theming wise, it matches better with the whole kind of theming I'm going with don't touch these. Because fun fact, all stars have saw blades in them. This is why you're not supposed to touch stars in the sky, even if you could reach them. Oh, Lord, I hit something. Make sure everything's recording. There we go. Now then, I'm working on this slowly but steadily. With the wave, I'll probably keep a similar thing with the constellations, just to keep a pretty good theme moving. And then here was my final plan for the whole level to really elevate it to the next level. Now, I could make a run-of-the-mill level. I really could. I could just, you know what I could do? I could add glow to everything. I could add glow to all these stars, as I probably should. I could touch all this up, make those buildings the proper gold color. Whole 9 yards. You get what I'm saying. I could just add glow to the final bit. But then it reminds me, there's nothing super unique. Like, about my level, yes, there's uniqueness. However, in terms of, like, the grand idea of all this, when this gets uploaded, whenever it does, a month from now when I'm actually done properly, I've verified it myself, because I want this to be verified by myself. I don't want someone to step in to do it for me. I feel confident to do it by myself. I don't want it to become another in the landfill. If you've ever watched, or of course played it yourself, Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, this is talked about. In his section about, he's talking about B movies and just a media landfill. I don't want mine to fall within that landfill and get lost to time, as many people's levels do, unfortunately. I want mine to make an impression, and I want it to make it well. And that's not gonna happen if I don't put in the full 9 yards. Now, while the person in question in that live stream chat when I was attempting to verify, when it was still an ugly mess, whether he was doing that to hate or to actually see me improve, I must thank you. I realized I wasn't putting my full potential, and I should have. So, I could just leave it right here and with glow and all that, but I don't want it to become part of the media landfill. In fact, let me show off something I've done. I've added area moves to these stars. I moved the text that was originally before the for the ship after the robot in the beginning of the level. And I instead put it here and also did this. Now, there's going to be no audio because I'm not trying to have UMG jump me in a back alley as they would. They jump a man for pennies, I tell you. Anyways, 1, 2, and 3. There we go. And I added that cool little thing. And I'm very proud of that, even though it only took me 20 minutes because I don't know how move triggers work and I'm not the brightest sometimes, and that's okay. I want this to make an impression, so let me explain the end goal. As I've mentioned at the very beginning, I have a moon right here. Now, I was thinking to have a day-night cycle, but there's a catch, a caveat, mind you, or what other word could be used to describe that? So, I want the moon to move gradually with the player. Now, I could easily just set it to be on the player, which would work fine for the most part. Except for this part right here, when there's a static camera, that's a problem. Because then the moon pauses with the player, and I don't want that. So I'm instead set it to direction mode. And I have a block somewhere up here. Right there. I found it. This guy right here. I have the moon, and I'm probably going to set it way higher, but I want the moon to gradually move through and up here. Okay. That's my plan. Now, then I have this moon, which is admittedly an identical copy that I've yet to actually fully detail, and that's just a very, basic moon. It could pass, but I don't want it to pass. I want it to shine, literally. So I kind of discussed this with my friend. Well, admittedly, it was kind of like a joke to see if he liked the idea. I was kind of playing around with it. I was like, would this be funny? And he was like, honestly, I think he mentioned just kind of like go for it, or we'll see how it moves out. So what my plan was is I'm then gonna have this moon way higher in the sky, obviously. So when it takes its diagonal direction, roughly around the slow part here, when you're just literally relaxing, and then you just have to hit like one dash orb and two of those, and then before it actually kicks back into the song when the bass is only playing. I thought of this kind of funny joke in my head. I was like, what if to have the stars out, like the stars want to stay out permanently. They're not staying out when the sun comes out. Like obviously you can see a little bit of stars, but you can't see it as well in the dark as you would in the dark of night. So here was the little joke idea I had, and it started to fully flesh itself out. So moon will be up, and there's a block down here it would roughly go to on the horizon. I might put it like actually in the player's view, so possibly somewhere right here, give or take, No. My idea was the thing is setting on the horizon, the moon, and then I was going to have the sun start to come up somewhere around here. Now, the whole idea I was kind of thinking about, I wanted to have it. Sounds kind of dumb. That's someone texting me, I believe. I'll look at that later. The whole idea I had was I wanted two different stars with like those cartoony gloves, like think early Mickey, or just Mickey in general, or like just something really goofy where these two stars, and I have like, this is not a fully fleshed idea. It's gonna take a while to do this. That's what's gonna take me the longest time out of anything. It's gonna be this. Now, I wanted to have like these two stars with like Mickey Mouse gloves, and then one has a baseball bat. I sound like a lunatic saying this, but you stick with me for a minute. And they like do one of those like old thumb points, like how the Mafia did, like, hey, let's get this guy, eh? That was a bad impression, I know, but they basically like point to the sun, and then they just start beating the sun up, and then have it like shoved down past the horizon, and then the whole thing is then the moon comes out, so the whole reign of stars doesn't end. I thought it was a silly little joke that I was like, that actually could be interesting, and take what could be a standard level with some interesting gameplay bits and elevate it from just a level to something some people could remember. I've been thinking about that quote more from Bennett Foddy about like just a media landfill, and I don't want to be in there. I want to shine. I want to stand out. And you will never stand out if you do the most run-of-the-mill stuff. If you just stick in the background. If you just stay away. You are not standing out doing that. And I thought about that. I really have. So, I am going to continue decorating. Now, like I said, stream's a little dry. Whole Sahara out there. I get it. I've been busy, and when I haven't been busy, I've been playing the Dash. I've genuinely just been doing that and playing Terraria with a friend. All I've been doing, honest. And watching From, but I'll disregard that. If anything, I'm actually working on the level when I'm supposed to be paying attention to the show. But here's what I'll promise you. I will be working on the level. And when I have free time. And I also will try to post up a stream. Now, I've mentioned this to that regular MBJ, and I told him possible Thursday or Friday I'll try to make those my, at least if I can keep consistency of once per week, I'll try and do that. And I know for most streamers who have it as a full-time job, they're doing like 8 hours 5 times a week for the people that actually got it locked in. But for a dude who's just working and does this for fun, in general, content creation for fun, I am trying to instead make it where I can do it consistently without pushing myself after like bad days at work or something. The only reason I haven't streamed today, and I mentioned this to MBJ, I worked 8 hours. It wasn't a bad day. I'm just tired in general. And trying to socialize. This why the video is happening instead of a stream. Socializing takes a lot of strain on me. With my whole social battery. So it's like when I already have to put on essentially a face for work so I can look happy and pleasant that I get to work there. I'm not happy, but whatever. It's money. Money's money, as they say. I disregard. Or whatever the actual term I was supposed to say there. But whatever that may be, I want the point of I want to try some consistency. I will try to stream at least once a week, Thursday, Friday. It's not happening tomorrow, unfortunately. I mean, it might. There's a chance. I'm going down to Maryland or I'm going down there to go see my grandfather and trim his lawn. Because money. And also want to see my grandfather, obviously. That will probably take up my whole day. And if I come back and I'm not completely dead, stream that night. Friday is just absolutely a no-go. I'm hanging out with a different friend, and then I got to take my car in. So that's not going to happen. So I want to try consistency. Every Thursday or Friday, or both, if I feel up to it, I'm going to attempt to stream and do that. Because I do want to do it. I enjoy doing it. I just want to, when I show up to a stream, I don't want to be angry or tired looking or sounding. I want to show up and just talk something chill. I want to play games. I want to relax. I don't want to think too heavy about it, So, I am glad to show off my progress, and there's much more to come, obviously. I've got to decorate about everything past the halfway point in terms of a glow or basic decoration. Because all the stuff, like all the portals, have been fully changed to the teleportation portal, or to the stars. And the basic deco that I have laid down, like, mentally, these dots, changing those colors, decorating those to be like buildings. I have the basic decoration laid down. I just have to finish it out. So, I will possibly see tomorrow for a stream, and if not, you will see me next week. Now then, I don't want to keep this going on too long, because I have to go meet that friend like I mentioned, so I'm gonna play Terraria or Apex or something. Anyways, I would like to say thank you for being patient with me. I understand it's not easy to wait. No one likes waiting. That sucks. Waiting for anything, it's not fun. I will admit that fully. It's not fun to sit there and twiddle your thumbs. It never is. I will admit fault in there for not being consistent, but I want to change that. And I've said that before. I've said so many times, I'll change, I'll make a schedule. But every time I've promised a schedule, I've found I burn out very quickly because I feel like I'm holding myself to it's not even a very difficult standard, but because my life is hectic, it doesn't make it an easy schedule. So all I can do is attempt, but not stand on that. Which I don't like doing, but you live, you live. Life is life, all that 9 yards. But I will hopefully have a stream out tomorrow, and if not, next week sometime. Any day, either Monday, Thursday, or Friday, because I usually get off Mondays as well. And I will hopefully have the level out in the next month or so after decorating. Thank you for sticking with me, even when it hasn't felt easy to stick with me, or very, a plausible idea of just having to wait and wait and wait and getting either a result that's not exactly a shining one or no result at all. Anyways, as I say, If it's sunny out, go have yourself a good day. Touch some grass, you know, whole 9 yards. Go do that. Have fun. If it's night, sleep, I guess. And if you're a night owl, don't sleep. I don't know. Have fun. Maybe go touch some night grass. I heard it's different from the day grass. It's got like moonlight on it or something, even though, you know, moonlight is just daylight, but colored differently. Whatever. Have yourself a good day or night. Take it easy. And I will hopefully see y'all soon. Bye bye.